Hey everyone, I'm Sarah Martin, the Director of Economic Research at Dodge Construction Network, and I'm here today to talk through what happened to the Dodge Momentum Index in the month of May. Quick reminder here, the DMI tracks the 3-month moving average value of non-residential building projects as they enter their earliest stages of planning. The goal of this index is really to track whether or not the planning pipeline is gaining momentum or if activity is slowing down. We only include projects that are valued at $500 million and below, and we exclude manufacturing and transportation projects as well. Now, overall, we do see that the DMI tends to lead construction spending by roughly 12 to 18 months. All right, let's dig into it. So the DMI expanded roughly 5.9% to a reading of 275.7 in the month of May. Most of this growth can be attributed to commercial planning growing, so that was by about roughly 7% over the month, but institutional planning also expanded by about 3.1% between April and May. Now, digging into those trends a little bit more, we can see here sort of that same index decomposed into 3 pieces. On the left here, we have the commercial portion of the index, both with and without data centers. And on the right here, we have the institutional portion. So throughout the first quarter or so of the year, we definitely saw the DMI really slow down. Activity planning kind of came in after really robust growth in the back half of 2025. Now, last month, we saw some growth return, but most of that could be attributed to really big data center projects entering the planning queue. This month is a bit more of a mixed picture, right? And it's a bit more broad-based in terms of what's driving that month-over-month growth. So we saw, activity pick up for healthcare projects as well as retail stores and traditional office buildings, whereas activity continued to slow down for education projects, recreational projects, warehouses, and hotels. Overall, the DMI remains up roughly 40% year over year. So when comparing May of 2026 to May of 2025, certainly with data centers, it's around 41% growth on the commercial planning side. But when we remove data centers, that year over year growth is closer to 7%. And then on the institutional side, that year over year growth is closer to 18%. So overall, still seeing that growth in the index continue from a year-over-year perspective, which should bode well for construction, but we do know that our outlook remains pretty cautious, right? Lots of volatility and uncertainty remain within the United States economy. We know the construction sector in particular is continuing to face major headwinds around labor constraints, material prices, and supply chain pressures. And all of that is likely to weigh on, owner sentiment in the near term and sort of drive this trend we've been seeing, which is projects entering the planning queue, but taking an increasingly longer amount of time to move through that pipeline and eventually reach groundbreaking. All right, that's all I have for you this month. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next time.